The moment she saw the man she once loved so deeply smiling sweetly with another woman, she silently took off the hidden wedding ring he'd given her years ago, and with it, let go of the future they were supposed to have. That night, she packed up her things. The next morning, she left town with their son, without a word. He thought she was just being emotional again. But when the doctor told him she'd left long ago with their child, the always composed man finally lost control. He bolted for the train station, panic overtaking him. They had been married for 8 years, but not once had he ever let their son call him dad. She never understood why until now. Just days earlier, she had brought their son into the city to visit him, even making his favorite dishes to surprise him after work. But instead of appreciation, all she got was betrayal. She overheard him telling someone she was just a poor relative from the countryside. And then, right in front of her, he flirted shamelessly with another woman. That was the final straw. She didn't scream, she didn't beg. She waited until they were alone and calmly asked him to explain. Still thinking he had a chance, he shrugged it off, said that woman was just a friend. Then, as always, told their son not to call him dad in public. She couldn't understand. Why could other children openly call him father, but not their own son? He kept insisting it was temporary, that once the time was right, he'd make it official. That's when she broke down. Through tears, she yelled at him. He dropped the act, mocked her appearance, criticized her clothes, and that's when she finally realized. The sweet talk when he married her, the big dreams of making it in the city. It was all just a cover so he could marry up the daughter of his boss. When he raised his hand to silence her with a slap, their son cried out and rushed between them. Seeing his little boy sobbing uncontrollably made the man stop, but not for long. He picked up his coat and walked out without looking back. The next day, she called the village chief. She agreed to return home and take a job as the local women's association director. But that night, she couldn't stop crying. Her son, wise beyond his years, noticed her sadness. Even though his father had never treated him well, he still said, "I want to be like the other kids. I want a dad." Then he came up with a plan, 3 chances. He placed 3 empty bottles on the table. If dad messes up 3 times, we leave. 4 good. That night, he quietly shattered the first bottle. Maybe his father sensed something, because the next day, he offered to take his son shopping for clothes. She thought maybe he'd changed. But as soon as they stepped outside, they ran into the other woman and her son. Immediately, the man said he had work to do, and told the 2 boys to go play alone. But the other child mocked her son for his worn-out clothes and shoved him aside, ripping them further. Knowing he didn't belong, the boy quietly came home. When his mom asked what happened, he tried to defend his dad. But eventually, the hurt spilled out. The cruel things the other kid had said. The pain. She held him tightly until she accidentally touched a bruise. "It's nothing," he said quickly. "I just fell." Seeing how sweet and brave he was, she took him to the fabric store to buy new clothes. But the prices were too high. She hesitated. That's when her husband walked in with the other woman. He bought the expensive fabric without a second thought, then turned and badmouthed his wife to the clerk. That was the final wake-up call. Without blinking, she bought the same expensive fabric for her son. That night, another bottle broke. There was only one chance left.